It wouldn't stop. Mike Poulin missing the head pin. Let's see. Now, still falling. Look at this.
Oh, my. It took a while, but it was worth it.
Found the secret.
Now he wants to make sure he doesn't miss this opportunity on the head pin, and he's all over it. So spare in the ninth. It's his partner, Brian Uphold, that you hear cheering him on in the background.
It was a cheerleading award. Brian Uphold will have it. He was really instrumental last week. He was up and down, out of his seat. Right through the middle is Mike. 5 fill on the spare. 96 through 9. Subpar game for them.
Oh, how about this?
Coming forward.
How about this? Oh, boy, he gave that one a scare, didn't he?
Here's the idea of always going 2 into 3 many times, because you have a chance of hitting that back pin and coming forward. And Mike Poulin almost did just that. Mike Sargent.
106, the team of Poulin and Uphold, and now Mike Sargent to fill that spare left by his partner with a 6. They're already at 119 through 8.
With only 4 marks. The big one, of course, the double strike.
Nope, 2 full that time. And a 9 box. 128 with 1 box to go. Pretty good pocket hit, and there's the result. Took a little while for the pins to mix, but they finally did for the 3rd strike for the team in this first game.
Just nudging the 7 pin. 138 plus 2 bonus balls. You're well into the 140s.
Same leave he had a moment ago. He's at 144. And not quite. Make it a 9 fill and a 147. And a big 41-pin lead for the team of Sargent and Vadney after 1. Still plenty of time. We've seen leads like this disappear before. Don't go away. Stars and Strikes Doubles returns.
Located in the heart of historic Salem, Massachusetts, is Colonial Village Apartments. Although our large courtyards preserve a country-like setting, expressways and free transportation are just minutes away, providing quick and easy access to Boston, New Hampshire, Lynn, and other surrounding communities. All of our apartments at Colonial Village are fully applianced with plush wall-to-wall carpeting, large closets, full-sized modern bathrooms, air conditioning, and spacious bedrooms. Plus, you'll find that each building offers large modern laundry facilities and plenty of off-street parking. Our newly renovated pool and centrally located clubhouse is a great place for our residents to meet and is always available to our residents for parties, outings, lectures, or other important events. Also available are fully furnished apartments, and our maintenance service is available 24 hours a day to handle any concerns that you may have.
Need cash? Check your jewelry box now. Cash for Gold is buying class rings, wedding bands, gold chains, bracelets, charms, anything marked 10, 14, or 18 karat gold. We'll pay top dollar for diamonds of all sizes, including diamond earrings, cluster rings, and diamond bracelets. So call Cash for Gold at 2 locations, on Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire, and on the DW Highway in Nashua. So forget the rest, we pay the best.
If you'd like to drop us a line, have a comment or a question or a criticism, be sure and drop your mail to Stars and Strikes Doubles, WNDS TV 50, 50 Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. Again, it's WNDS TV 50, 50 Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. And just to keep it all straight, if you'd like us to answer your question, if obviously we don't get to answer all the mail on the air, but if you'd like us to respond to it during the Doubles show, make sure that you put Doubles somewhere on the envelope. That way we'll know.
Haven't had many questions lately.
Well, I think we've
Answered
all the questions.
Yeah.
I think that press conference that we had pretty much took care of everything. But new things come up all the time. I'll bet we're going to start to get questions before too long about the Sports Museum.
Yes.
But if you have any bowling-related item that you'd like us to discuss on the air, whether it's a rule or a particular technique or a tip or a question you have about the show itself, please feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
The advice is free.
But bowling isn't.
Spare in the first. Steve Vadney. These just aren't going to let up.
However, it's very reasonable.
Yes, that's for sure.
At all of your local NHCBA member bowling houses. It's always a good idea to check in to your local bowling center and see what the league situation is, see if bowlers are needed, and get yourself in there on some open bowling nights or days. And
sure. Birthday parties, everything. There's a lot going on in your local bowling center.
A lot of new technologies coming into the sport as well.
There's a 5 fill on the spare. Now Steve is looking at the 6-10 and also the 8-pin.
I think the biggest thing for folks who maybe haven't been bowling in a number of years is no more paper score sheets anymore. Very tough to find those now.
That's right. Electronic scoring. Actually, a house in Maine that's totally automatic.
Oh, nice spare for Brian Uphold to start the second game.
That's what they need because they're down by 46 pins.
Oh, right through the center. He was fortunate to get 4. It could have easily been just the 1 and the 5. So marks for each team in the first frame, but the fills weren't there. And, of course, speaking of your local NHCBA bowling center, that's where you begin the process of getting here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. All around the state, roll-offs are held approximately twice a month at each of the NHCBA bowling centers. The top 5 finishers from each house then move to a central location for the finals. And the top 5 for singles and the top 10 for doubles move on to television. And that's how it happens. In fact, from this group here, the 10 bowlers that are with us on Stars and Strikes doubles in this particular series, they come from a group of 72 finalists that competed at the Lamprey River Lanes in Newmarket, as Mike Sargent almost converts the half Worcester for a spare. So you take those 72, those were the people that advanced to the finals, but several times that is the number of people who originally tried out.
And there's no entry fee. It's just like bowling 5 games of practice, so it's a lot of fun. Mike Poulin for his 3rd and 4th frames, opposite only a 5 and a 10 box.
Yeah, this is a real opportunity for them to pick up some ground here. Mike will shoot at the 2-5 with the wood not a factor. And he's got it. Mark number 4 for the team, all spares. Of course, the big difference in this match right now, the double strike that Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney teamed up on. Mike looking for a big fill now. Oh, and he's right through the
1
center.
and the 8 again. That happened last week to him.
And
oh, he almost converted that.
$10 in the fourth. They've gained 6, so the lead is now 35 for Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney. We're just about at the halfway point. Semifinals of Stars and Strikes doubles. We'll be back in a minute.
Beacon Hill Jewelers proudly announces its annual store-wide inventory reduction sale now taking place. You'll find remarkable deals with all in-stock merchandise 20 to 60% off. Come in to see our gold bracelets and chains, earrings, diamond and colored stone jewelry, pearls, sterling jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Some items are actually below cost, but this sale happens only once a year. So stop into Beacon Hill Jewelers in the Hampshire Plaza Mall, 1000 Elm Street, Manchester, New Hampshire, for the value that shines.
Poultry? Richie, people love Bo Peep. It's selling tickets like crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Little, the world's greatest impressionist, as Chicken Little.
It takes a tough man to make a tender chicken little.
Oh, that's my little Richie. He always looks so nice in yellow.
Cackle, cackle.
Oh, at its finest. Get your Tri-State Megabucks tickets today. You could be rich for just a little.
Captain's log, stardate 3142.3. Slightly over 2 centuries ago, a group of scientists planned for a race of supermen and created conquistadors.
Name? Khan Noonien Singh.
From 1992 through 1996, absolute ruler of more than a quarter of your world.
Well, either choke me or cut my throat.
You fled. Why? Were you afraid?
I've never been afraid.
But you left at the very time mankind needed courage.
We offered the world order. I intend to take this ship. Will you assist me?
Oh, please, Khan, don't ask me.
Leave me then. The battle begins again. Only this time is not the world who will win. It's the universe. Happy? You're no match for me. It does not...
Star Trek, tonight at 7 on WNDS.
Steve Vadney just catching the head pin, and now he's got the 7 and the 10.
Might have liked that one to stay up, but he's got some wood. And he's got another 3 pieces, actually, and the 4th one right directly in front of the 10 pin. And that's the one he's going to shoot at and catch a little bit of the front one, and hopefully everything will slide from right to left. Oh, it did in front of the 7.
And a $10.
Watch this piece of wood fly in front of the 7, right there.
And another one behind it. Off to the left, but he'll have the 1, 3, 6, and 9. With no wood. Not an easy shot. And Steve knew he missed it right away.
He just immediately turned away. He knew the ball wasn't going to be where he wanted it to be, and that was on the head pin.
Well, a little drought here for the team of Vadney and Sargent, but so far, Brian Uphold and Mike Poulin really haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Well, they have 2 marks, but only 4 and 2 on the fills. Lead still is 35 for Sargent and Vadney.
And it's a 9. Well, let's see. Hold on. It'll be the 6-10. A lot of distracting wood there, but Ryan goes right after it and converts it. So they'll pick up a little bit more ground, perhaps, on that fill when Mike Poulin comes up the next time. This is Mike Sargent now. Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney, the blue team this week.
1, 2, 7 and 8 left for Mike.
No. Mike works for Ogden Martin. He and his wife Marianne have 3 children, Chris, Mike, and Kim. Mike from Bradford, Mass.
Opening 147. Not going to come close to that one unless they can throw some more strikes. No, they seem to really be struggling. Outside, yes. Mike plays it and gets that spare in the 8th.
The 7th mark for the, or rather the 8th mark for the team, but only the 2nd in this game.
Now Mike Poulin will be working on a spare.
This is an important fill right here. Oh, and Mike lost it.
And another 2. So they have 3 marks this game, all spares, a 4 fill, a 2 fill, and another 2.
Mike just missed catching the head pin and giving himself a shot at that. Now with the 10, they've now gained 10 pins in this game, so the lead is 31. But now Mike is opposite a mark. They certainly don't want to fall any farther behind going into the 3rd and final game. Oh, here's a leave. The 2-7, 9-10.
And the 2-7.
Now he'll do it with no wood.
They still are the 2-7, 9-10. Yeah, he's, let me make this without the wood. I don't want any help.
$7. Steve Vadney has won 28 matches on our 2 programs over the years. That's more than anyone else. Unless I'm missing my guess, the only other bowler that has over 20 is Pat Pay. But Steve is by far the leader in that category.
Some 91 through 9. The bad news is they need 9 pins to break 100 or reach 100, but the good news is that Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold have not been able to mount any offense to take advantage of the situation. 4 pin left for Mike, for Steve, and 2 pieces of wood that try to use out in front. Difficult, but they just drives him right straight back. Make it look awful easy. Spare in the 10.
Steve Vadney, 28 wins. Pat Pay, 22 wins. Mike Morgan, 18 wins. Those are the top 3 right now. And how about the strike on the spare? Nope, it'll be a 9 fill and a 110. 257 for the team of Sargent and Vadney after 2. Brian Uphold would really like to put up some numbers here in these last 2.
Now, that piece of wood did roll against the 5 and the 9. Now, yeah, thoughts of that are probably gone now, too far away. It's going to go right at the triangle. 5, 8, 9.
No.
And there goes the 5.
Boy, threw that ball even harder than he normally does, it seemed.
Going to punish those pins. Just the 10 pin left.
Well, he needed that mark to have any chance of keeping the lead right around 40 going into the third and final game. 5 previous marks for Poulin and Uphold. They're fills 7, 5, 4, 2, and 2. And now 5 for a 107. And so the difference will be 44 after 2 games. 257 for Sargent and Vadney. 213 for Poulin and Uphold. Will we see a comeback? We'll come back and find out.
Look, we need the money, so I'll just get a job.
Which means we'll need another car. Let's face it, our credit these days.
My sister just got a car at Jim Witt Motors in Lowell through their Buy Here, Pay Here program. It helps people like us restore our good credit and get the car we need.
Buy here, pay here. So what kind of wheels should Daddy get from Jim Witt?
Daddy's new wheels? Hey, whose idea was this anyway?
Get the car you need and strengthen your credit. Call Mr. Armstrong, 1-800-258-8889.
When human feelings collide with alien powers, dangerous choices must be made.
If this child does not learn how to control her power, she may accidentally destroy herself. Or all of you.
I know I can resist.
Will her extraordinary gift go out of control?
Do you love me?
More than anything. Or will a greater power stop her dead in her tracks? Does she live or does she die? On Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Sunday night at 6 on WNDS.
They say an earthquake larger than San Francisco's quake could shake, rattle, and roll through New England. Would you be ready for the big one? The facts on WNDS News Up Front, Monday night at 10 on TV 50.
Do you like me?
I need someone to love. Oh, baby,
So cute. You've always been cute. I guess that's why you've been crazy about me since the day we met. Her life not.
Weekdays at 5:30 on WNDS TV 50. Here are the winning numbers from last night's Tri-State Megabucks drawing.
Well, interesting. Both teams, Dan, have elected to change the order here in the third game. So Brian Uphold will lead it off for his team.
Trying to get something going. Last week, they were ahead by 22 going into the last game. This time they're down by 40, and that's what they have to do. Well, actually, 1 pin better than that. They got to have marks.
Brian's going to be able to scoop that pin up himself before it stops rolling, I think. Now, does Dottie have to wait for that to stop before it...
Yeah, technically, yes. But that one...
We could be here all day.
That's right. That one knocked us 2 over. That kept going.
And that'll be a 10 box for Brian. 10s won't do it, though. He almost made a terrific shot. 2 open.
Wants to put a strike up there. Then they got a chance for a double.
Doesn't have one yet. Team does not have one yet.
Well, the 2 and the 6. Piece of wood way out in front. As long as it stays there, you're going to have a chance. Oh, wow! He cut it without the wood. You kidding me? Wow.
Nothing to it, huh?
Jeez. Sure. Who needs the wood? Get the wood out of there. Let's take it out.
Steve Vadney starting things for his team here in the third. And he starts it with a mark. You mark every once in a while here in this third game. They'll be tough to catch.
Gives Mike and Brian one less frame to work with when they put a mark up. This time missed to the left and only a 4 fill.
That's 10 marks so far for Vadney and Sargent. And an 8. If you're looking ahead to next week in the championship match, when Chuck Godzik and Peter Flynn will be here, as Mike again continues to struggle with the fills. There is a 4 fill. Chuck Godzik and Peter Flynn, our #1 seeded team, will be here next week to face the winners of this match. The 3 teams that have already qualified for the doubles tournament of champions: Gary Carrington and Joe Ashline at 407, Jack Sanick and Brian McKinley at 381, Paul St. Pierre and Steve Reno at 349.
Pretty good lineup so far.
And Peter Flynn, by the way, has already qualified for the singles tournament of champions, so he'll be trying to become the first bowler to get into both this year. As Mike puts the spare up in the 4th.
Four horsemen right, 1, 3, 6, 10. Mike Sargent.
Nope. And a 9. Well, even if Mike were to open here in the 4th, they would still have a 30-plus pin lead after the mark is filled by Brian Uphold. So they're in pretty good shape, but still you can never be too comfortable, I suppose.
Mike missing badly to the left, just taking out the 4-pin.
So it will be an open. And it'll be a 9. So 40 through 4 for Sargent and Vadney. 32 with a spare up in the 4th for Uphold and Poulin, and they will have to begin what would be a dramatic comeback with the very first ball when we come back right after these words.
Tri-State Megabucks presents Rich Little, the world's greatest impressionist, as Marcel Marceau.
Je suis content that ici pour Tri-State Megabucks.
Rich baby, Marcel Marceau's a meme.
A meme?
A meme.
Don't crowd me, pilgrim.
Play Tri-State Megabucks today, and you could be rich for just $1.
Why? Somebody get a rope. Yo.
When Michael Landon plays Cupid, it's a match made in heaven.
I think you two just might need each other.
If you're looking for a little romance, a little love,
never underestimate the power of love,
then this guy's a real angel.
I was just wondering how long we were going to be together.
Forever seems about right to me.
For all the romance in this world and the next, Highway to Heaven.
Weeknights at 7 on WNDS TV 50.
It's not a young thing.
It's not an old thing.
It's something you gotta see.
It's not a girl thing. It's not a guy thing.
It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing.
It's right on the tip of your tongue, and you're thinking,
It's a night thing. Night thing?
Did he say a night thing?
It's a night thing! Yes. What else would you call it?
Fei Chang Hao. It's a night thing.
Arsenio Hall, weeknights at 11:30 on WNDS.
Hey, aren't you Mr. Perry Mason? Yes.
It's always been a mystery to me how a reputable attorney can defend a man everybody knows is guilty.
A guilty man is still entitled to representation. Your testimony has been a mass of contradiction. I suggest that you have fabricated a bundle of lies.
I object, Your Honor. This is just the type of shenanigans Perry Mason is noted for.
I think Mr. Mason's request is both reasonable and logical. Objection overruled.
All right, Mr. Mason. My life's in your hands.
Perry Mason, weekdays at 9 on the Winds.
Well, every fill is important, but at this point in the match, this one is big.
Oh, that's the best one they've had so far, and they almost got them all.
They have to start putting some marks up.
On their first 7 marks, Dan, they had total only 29 extra pins. That's only an average of 4 per fill, and that's not...
You won't win many matches that way.
No. You throw that together with the fact that they've yet to throw a strike, and there's the problem. That was spare number 9, though, for the team. And there's another pretty good fill, but check the leave.
Just barely caught the head pin and leaves himself the 8 and the 10, and not much help. I guess he's got to go way left and get those 2 pieces moving there, but let's see what happens. See, he's got one coming over, but
not enough.
If the other piece of wood wasn't there, that might have had enough steam to knock the 10 pin down.
Instead, it's just a 10 box, 79 through 6. So the lead 33. If Steve Vadney doesn't put a mark up here in one of these 2 boxes, it could get a little bit more interesting. Dottie Lauer taking care of a piece of loose wood that had come out on lane 29.
And she took care of it.
Almost taken care of it.
Yeah, that's right. Not quite all the way. And now Steve Vadney clears it and knocks the 7 pin down, and
now we're all set.
We got to talk to that Dottie. She says she's getting weak.
Oh, big first ball for Steve Vadney. Solid 5 pin.
Right in the face, Steve. Right in the face.
Oh, he missed it. What would you say for a caliber of bowler such as these guys here today? What would you say is an acceptable percentage of single pin conversions for spares?
Percentage-wise, or?
Yeah, percentage-wise.
I would say that these bowlers are up well over 95%.
Really, that high?
Yes, yeah. A good 90, but I think it's even better than that.
Well, he just missed the single, and now he just missed the spread eagle for a spare.
So that means we're between the 4 of them. We won't see another single pin miss today, probably.
Almost on the spread eagle.
Just didn't get enough roll backwards.
Well, so now the lead is down to 24 with 4 boxes to go. So kind of quietly, Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold have been making a run here. Let's see what they can post in the last 4 boxes.
Well, make a believe. 1, 2, 4.
Yes. That ball came back nicely for Michael.
Can they do it? Coming from 44 pins behind.
Be a nice time to throw their first strike of the day.
Yes. You have a feeling they have to throw at least 1.
Is this it? You bet.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. That brought his partner, Brian Uphold, out of his seat.
Well, it puts a little pressure on now for Mike Sargent, and he comes right back. How about that? Right back with a
stumbled again at the foul line. I think this is a new technique. You're glad to see that 5 pin to go down.
Oh, look at this. Oh, Steve Vadney is up out of his chair now, and that may do it right there. Wow.
Mike Sargent turned around and put his arms up in the air as he just kicked a field goal or something, and it's a double strike. Because up to that point, this is almost a new match.
Second double strike of the match for Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney. Oh, nice cut shot for the 10 for Brian Uphold.
The story of this match is 4 marks, really.
Yep.
It's the 2 double strikes. Ooh.
Nope. There's 2.
Well, it's looking awful good for Chuck Godzik and Peter Flynn next week, because they're missing a few singles here.
137 and 350 for Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold. It's basically already over, pretty much with this first ball for Steve Vadney. And that did do it officially. And there's the spare on the strike. It's going to be a pretty good triple.
Very good triple.
The late flourish here.
The 4 horsemen, the head pin goes straight up and comes right back down on a 9 pin. And boy, don't they fly when a match is over. You could pull with your eyes closed now, and they seem to fall.
Well, let's see. Steve gets this one, which he does. If he throws a strike ball here, it'll be a 400. It's 390 right now.
Crash of a 400, Steve, right here.
A score that I'm sure they would love next week.
Absolutely. Has a chance. Nope, right through the center of 5. A 138 and a 395 for Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney. Good enough for the win over Mike Poulin and Brian Uphold with a big finish. The last 4 boxes, including 2 double strikes in the match for Sargent and Vadney. And they win to get into next week's final. We'll talk about it with the bowlers right after these words.
Brentwood Machine Sales is one of the largest in-stock dealers of wood and metalworking equipment in the Northeast. Brentwood Machine Sales has the best price on top brand names, and Brentwood Machine Sales maintains warranty service for most tool lines sold. Brentwood Machine Sales should be your first stop. On sale, Powermatic woodworking machinery, 14-inch drill press for $279.95 and model 243 14-inch bandsaw just $575.90. Brentwood Machine Sales, Route 125, Brentwood. If you buy it here, you've got nothing to worry about.
This is Darren Stevens, an account executive at McMahon & Tate. He has a nice house, a beautiful wife, a cute kid, the usual. He's got the usual headaches, too. Bickering in-laws.
Wait a minute. I'd always hoped somehow that age would mellow you, Endora. Instead, you're just puckering up.
A practical joking uncle.
I've been framed.
A dithering aunt. A hard-partying cousin.
I've been laying here in my bed, yeah.
Well, you can't pick your relatives. Stevens just wishes they'd stop picking on him.
Good morning, dear Wood.
It's The Adventures of Darren on Bewitched, weekdays at 2 on WNDS.
You know, when hopeful romantics tell their secret crushes how they feel. He's had a crush on you forever.
When I saw this man, my heart went to my feet, and I said, oh!
Dancing with her that night, what'd you feel?
There's humor. Actually, she wouldn't let me touch her too.
I didn't have that. Romance?
Ever since I saw you, I knew you were my dream.
Sometimes rejection.
But I already have a boyfriend.
The results can be outrageous on Infatuation.
Weekdays at 4 on WNDS TV 50.
A World War II veteran, a hard worker, a loving husband, a great dad. Then,
Did you hear the rumor?
his American dream
Close this down.
crumbled.
I never thought it'd come to this.
Your dad is gone.
You coward.
Brian Dennehy, Piper Laurie, Matt Damon, Rising Sun.
Today at 4 on TV 50's Movie Watch.
Once again, what turned out to be, or what started out to be, I should say, maybe a one-sided match, turned out to be very interesting at the end before Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney came up with the second big double strike that they needed.
That's right. When Mike threw the spare strike, the match was there for the taking, and then Mike Sargent came out with a big double strike as they did in the first game. That was the difference in the match, those 4 marks.
Yeah, you wonder what this match would have been like without the 2 double strikes, especially in light of the fact that Mike and Brian were struggling trying to fill their spares right up until the end.
That's true. I'd like you to ask Mike when you come up what would happen if those were 2 9-pin drops instead of strikes.
Well, again, though, a situation where, not to belabor the point, but it seems like we're always talking about teams unable to win 2 in a row, and once again it has happened. This is what, our 15th show of the season, and we've only had one team that's been able to win 2 matches in a row.
I think it just shows the quality of the bowlers that we're getting, and the teams, and they're pretty equal all the way down, and it's just a matter of who's on top of their game and who isn't.
All right, well, let's talk to the runners-up from this match. Brian Uphold and Mike Poulin, come on up. We have a round of applause for you guys, and we also have some checks for you as well. Not the checks you wanted, I'm sure. The third place prize money, $250 to split between you. But again, last week they were going, this week they weren't. But it seemed more like the fills is what was really causing you a problem.
The fills killed us then. They came out, they had 2 doubles. That's a big difference in the match right there. We took a major league thumping today.
What's the difference seems to, I mean, obviously it's just a quarter, an inch, or a half or an inch either way, and that can make the difference between 50 pins and your score, probably.
Yeah, you're right. The Phil's referring to wasn't us, was me. I just couldn't get anything until the end. But you're right. You know, I mean, what the heck? The balls were there most of the time, and punch out the 1-5 or throw a strike, you're talking this much, you know? Right. Didn't miss a shot with my hat.
Well, I know you guys bowl together a lot, so this was not unusual for you to bowl as partners here. So I'm sure probably we'll see you again before the year is too much farther along.
I hope so. It's been a long drought for me until this year.
That's right. It has been a while since you've been here. Actually,
it's the first time for the doubles.
Right. And Mike, obviously, we hope to see you back again as well real soon. Good luck to both of you.
Yeah, besides that, another week we might not have been able to make it because Brian's wife's doing about 1 day here, so he might not have been around anyway. This might have been good.
Well, let us know what happens, all right?
Thanks.
All right, good luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Brian. And Mike, congratulations to you. And now let's have Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney come up. Our winners today will try and break this jinx that teams seem to have, not being able to win 2 matches in a row. Congratulations, guys. It really was the strikes, the double strikes specifically, that did it for you today.
Oh yeah, they were coming back at us in that 3rd game, and Mike threw that double, and right, couldn't ask for a better time.
Well, I was going to say, if you hadn't thrown that double late, Mike, I think you would have had some people in the gallery here riding you after the show.
Yeah, I had to do something for him. The poor guy was all alone with 2 strings.
But those doubles, obviously, that combined with the fact that as Mike Poulin said, they were struggling on their fills and really couldn't put even 2 spares together.
Right.
And you guys were getting the strikes, and that made the big difference. So now next week, you come in, and you're going to be trying to win 2 in a row, and you've got Chuck Godzik and Peter Flynn. Peter's already in the singles tournament of champions. And we've talked a lot about, we were just talking a moment ago about this winning 2 weeks in a row. Why do you think that is, that it's so difficult? It seems more difficult in the doubles than it is in singles to win consecutive weeks.
Well, it's tough, to have 2 guys, going strong together. One guy gets down, and if the other 2 clicking, it's hard to come back, and the competition just gets, tougher and tougher. So 2 in a row is tough.
Well, Chuck and Peter will be ready for you guys next week. Good luck, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right, Michael. All right, Steve. Thanks very much. Congratulations. And we'll set it up for you one more time before we take off for the rest of the day, as we're down to our championship match, and it's our top 2 seeded teams, as it has been so often, it seems, this season. Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney to try and knock out of Chuck Godzik and Peter Flynn. Chuck Godzik hasn't been here for over 5 years or so. Peter Flynn is already into the singles tournament of champions, so he's going to try and become the Mike Morgan of this year to try and get into both.
Probably did difficult team because Chuck's got a lot of rest and he's got a good partner.
That's very true. We hope that you'll be joining us next Sunday starting at 12 noon here on The Winds for Championship Week. Of course, in singles at noon, and then right here on Stars and Strikes doubles, we'll have our championship match here as well, as it'll be Peter Flynn and Chuck Godzik against Mike Sargent and Steve Vadney. Until next week, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. So long from Londonderry.